right, we'll call to order.
Recording in progress.
IT committee meeting here on April 15th. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Zanger,
Happy to be here.
Supervisor Kosmicki,
Here. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Zanger. Acknowledgement of certificate posting.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's approved 2-0. Public comments. Do we have any public comments?
if you'd like to make a comment in chambers, please come up to the podium, and on Zoom, please press *9 or the raised hand icon. And I have no public comment.
Okay, we'll move on to the regular agenda. 4.A, approve action meeting minutes of March 11th. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Back up, public comment?
If you'd like to make a comment in chambers, please come up to the podium, and on Zoom, please press *9 or the raised hand icon. And I have no public comment.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4.B, receive and accept update on Microsoft Office 365 G5 implementation, discuss transition roadmap and training plan, discuss and provide staff direction if desired. All right.
There you go. Yeah, so as you guys know, last board meeting, the G5 got approved. One of the things we've been working as part of this implementation has been to move forward with Teams. I know it's been something we've been working a lot with the county. With the upgrade of the G5, we've gotten much better policy control. So we've set a lot of those up, one of them being like out of country sign-ins. So you must be in the US in order for you to be able to sign in from any other country. As some of the account takeovers have been happening or would happen from another country. So we were able to block some of those things. We're currently still going through a lot of additional policies and things that come up with the G5, but one of our main priorities is pretty much Teams. We hope by the end of this week we can get a test group of perhaps maybe either the IT department or Office of Emergency. That way we can go ahead and work through all the issues that they must be running through before we actually go ahead and deploy to the rest of the county. One of the things we will be working on is to be able to get a acceptable use of policy accepted by the board members, and as well be able to further distribute to the rest of the county employees. So for the most part right now, Team is the focus that we're going to be doing with the G5 upgrade.
Questions, comments?
Yeah, quick question. Just you mentioned out of the country. It would be possible though to set it up in specific instances if someone's out of the country and
Correct.
they wanted to.
Yeah, there's
I just wanted
actually
to
a
make sure it
policy.
wasn't like completely.
Yeah,
blocked or
there's
something.
actually a policy set up, so if people are going to Mexico or any other country, we add them to that policy, and they'll be able to go ahead and sign in.
Great. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Do we have any direction, anything else? Anything other information you want to provide to the public?
No, that's pretty much it. Like I said, Teams is going to be the focus for the G5 upgrade for the most part. I know a lot of the county employees have been asking for it, so it's something that we will be making a priority.
All right, appreciate that. Any public comment?
If you'd like to make a comment on Zoom, please press 9 or the raised hand icon. I don't have any. No comment.
Thank you. We'll move to 4.C, received accept status update on county transition from .us to .gov, discuss and provide direction if desired.
Yep. So I am pleased to announce that we do have San Benito County CA.gov already in our system, and we've actually already gone and tested it, only with one email. So it definitely does mark a significant milestone in our transition project. Our next step right now is to go ahead and deploy it to key departments. Since Sheriff and DA and Probation are getting new business cards, we went ahead and ordered them with the new domain. So we plan to go ahead and set them up to be able to send and receive from within the new domain. And we're aiming to complete this in about 3 to 4 weeks. Following the success of that transition, we are hoping that we can go ahead and migrate the rest of the county to the new domain, which is approximately 680 email boxes. We are adopting a phased approach to ensure that we have a smooth transition. and as well to avoid any disruption in our operation. During the current, pretty much, I do want to emphasize that throughout this whole process, the current county's domain will still be functional. So cosp.us will still be able to receive emails from those. That way, since we do have communication in the past, that will still be out there for like newsletter or anything like that. I might still have our old domain. People will still be able to email to those domains and it'll get to the correct email box.
So, I might have missed that while I was typing notes. So you're saying if they email the old one, it'll go to the new one? basically?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And then for moving, when you do reply to that email, it will essentially be on the new domain.
Okay, great. Any other questions, comments? Do we have any, as far as so it's the website and emails going to .us
.gov.
or .gov? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
San Benito County CA.gov is going to be the new domain.
And do we have a total cost? I'm just curious if we want to, if people ask, because that
Mhm.
would probably be the only issue.
In regards to,
Just the transition, and maybe that's not an IT question, maybe that's more of an admin.
yeah, I think we might have to account as well as other printing like business cards, flyers, any other things.
So everyone's going to get new business cards at some point?
Yeah.
We're gonna
correct.
phase that in as your business card runs out. We would
Oh,
order
right.
more.
Right.
But we do have a cost for the website, because that was part of our last quote that the board approved a few meetings ago.
Right.
And then the other cost, I think, is related to the Microsoft licensing, right? Luciana, having double licenses for a short period of time.
No, so we won't need a double license.
Okay.
It's just going to be the actual domain that we will be able to hold the old domain as long with the new domain to make sure that
Oh,
emails
so it's a
come through.
hosting cost.
Correct.
So we can get that information.
Are there any other benefits to, this is more for me as an outreach thing, if people ask, like, what the benefit is of going to .gov?
So this is actually a law that got put in place.
Yeah, so
Pretty much
we're
they want to
mandated
identify.
by a certain date to be here.
Great, that's an easy enough answer to give. Okay, I don't have anything else.
And I think
Anything?
part of that law is we have to have like CA in the address.
You also have the county name, the state, and pretty much .gov.
Okay.
So that's why it was San Benito County CA.gov.
Great, appreciate that. Any public comment?
If you'd like to make a comment in chambers, please come up to the podium, and on Zoom, please press star 9 or the raised hand icon. And I have no public comment.
All right, we're good on that. So 4.D, receive update on, including but not limited to, IT department allocated ARPA funds and information or an IT budgetary request. Discuss and provide staff direction.
Yeah, so I went ahead and placed the paper in your guys' desk, pretty much of a few of the technologies or implementations we've had along with the costs. There's a few things I still haven't posted on ERP, but we're right around $744,000 that we spent out of the $1 million.
Out of the what? What was
Out
it?
of the $1 million.
Million, that's what I thought. Okay. And are we looking to be over, under,
Well,
eventually?
I'm pretty sure we're gonna end up spending that.
Okay.
So we're hoping to get a more accurate number within the next few weeks and seeing what project could be allocated for the rest of the money.
Any questions, comments on that? Public comment?
If you'd like to make a comment in chambers, please provide a speaker card. Please come up to the podium, sorry. And it looks like I have somebody that would like to make a comment. One second. On Zoom. Philip Esparza, you've been unmuted.
Hi, good day. Phil Esparza from San Juan Bautista Rotary Access Committee. Nice to have a meeting again. I just wanted to ask for procedures for the next time that we have an agenda and report on, I hope this is the right place, for the, on what's happening with our broadband efforts in the county. I'd like to request that we be allowed to work with staff to provide an update on the Roman San Juan project and the migrant camp project. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment?
No further public comment.
Yeah, and I will just, in light of that, I would just request that we do invite Rotary to the next IT meeting so they can offer that and we can have an open discussion with them on what their efforts and all. Anything else, Supervisor Zanger? Okay, that's, anything else, from staff?
No.
Okay, appreciate that. 4.E, receive and accept status update on the broadband, speaking of broadband collaboration efforts. Discuss and provide staff direction if desired.
Good afternoon, committee members. With that, I would like to invite Barbara Haynes from RCRC to provide a presentation. Barbara, if you would like to share your screen, you can go ahead and do so right now.
Thank you. All right. Can you see?
Yes, we see it.
Okay.
Barbara, if you can make it full screen. Oh,
Yes.
there we go. Thank you.
Are you seeing the full screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Barbara Hayes. I'm the Chief Economic Development Officer at RCRC, and I'm here today to report on the activities of one of our affiliate entities, Golden State Connect Authority. Golden State Connect Authority, as you can see on the screen, it's a joint powers authority, and includes 40 member counties, San Benito being one of them. And it is the affiliate entity through which all of RCRC's broadband program of work falls. And you can see down there at the bottom right of the slide, really the focus areas that I'm going to touch on really quickly that are the board-approved program of work. So I'll start with broadband strategic planning. We just completed via an Economic Development Administration grant a broadband strategic plan for San Benito County. And I'll leave it to the team there on the ground to make sure that you all have received it. But I'm certain that the board received an update on the plan. It would have been about 4 to 6 weeks ago at this point. So that portion of the program of work is complete. The idea behind these broadband strategic plans is it would serve as a compendium of information and resources for elected and professional leadership at the county level, so that when you all engage in broadband conversations, you have at the ready information that you're going to need to really have an incredibly intelligent conversation and be fully informed. The second bullet there is one of capacity building and information sharing, and I'm going to touch on that in just a moment relative to our work that we're helping your local team there relative to the local agency technical assistance, or LADA grant, for network design. And then the last bullet is our biggest list, and I'll touch on that a little more as well, which is Golden State Connect Authority, on behalf of the 40 member counties that we represent, is going to finance, construct, own, operate, and maintain an open access last mile fiber to the address network across a number of our counties. And San Benito hopefully will be one of those. And I'll give a little bit of background in that regard as well. So first, I want to touch on just a kind of a calendar to level set everybody's knowledge of the various programs I'm going to touch on. So back in the fall of 2022, the local agency technical assistance, or as I mentioned, LADA grant, was applied for and awarded to San Benito County. And this allowed $500,000 in the form of a grant for purposes of network design for areas of San Benito County. And it does just include the unincorporated area. That was one of the requirements under LADA. Though it includes those areas of San Benito County that are unserved or underserved by current providers. And their standards or numbers associated with those technical descriptions. Unserved is those areas that receive less than 25/3 service, and underserved are those areas that receive less than 100/20 service. So work is being done under the LADA grant right now with San Benito County that will ultimately result in construction-ready network designs for a fiber system that is last mile to the address for just over 40 miles. And that's because that's the 40 miles, the magical part of 40 is that's just what was allowed under the grant as far as available funding. So as I mentioned, back in August, San Benito, or back in the fall, San Benito applied for and was awarded a LATA grant. That work is underway. Last summer, so we'll fast forward to September of 23, the CPUC opened the application window for what is known as the Federal Fund Account, or FFA Last Mile Program. This was up to $2 billion that was available to incumbent service providers or network administrators, including local governments, tribes, and nonprofits, to deploy broadband infrastructure. So Golden State Connect Authority did submit applications to the FFA Last Mile Program for, among others, project areas within San Benito County. And again, I'll touch on that in just a moment. And then most recently, the Loan Loss Reserve Program, which the decision at the CPUC to create this program was in the fall of last year. The application window opened on March 12th of this year and closed just a week or so ago on April 9th. And the Loan Loss Reserve Program, not unlike LATA or the FFA program, was established under SB 156, Senate Bill 156, back in July of 2021. And the Loan Loss Reserve Program is available for local governments, tribes, and nonprofits to apply for. It's a competitive grant to apply for utilizing as securitization against debt instruments. So either bond issuances or loans that are taken out by those entities, again, for the purpose of deploying broadband infrastructure. So in the case of Golden State Connect Authority, we similarly applied for loan loss reserve applications to partner with the FFA grant applications that we had submitted, because part of the financial structure that we'll be undertaking to finance and construct this network will be the issuance of tax-exempt bonds. So we applied for loan loss reserve dollars to securitize that bond issuance. We're now sitting and waiting. All applications have been submitted and are under review by the CPUC program staff. We do know in the case of the FFA Last Mile program that the CPUC has given themselves in the guidelines 6 months to review submitted applications. I think given the volume of applications that they received, which was 484 applicants requesting $4.6 billion, 2.5 times what's available, that they're going to take every day into the end of June that they've given themselves before we hear on FFA. As far as loan loss reserve, that one may move a little bit more quickly. We may know the status of our loan loss reserve applications in the May, early June time window. And then beyond all of these programs, which are, as I mentioned, all part of the SB 156 that was passed in July of 2021, looking ahead and this might be aspirational, but in winter of 2024 or into Q1 of next year, the state of California will receive approximately $1.86 billion in what are called BEAD funds. And this is Broadband Equity and Deployment Program that the federal government has allocated $42.5 billion. California's allocation of that will be $1.86 billion, again, used for broadband deployment. So that application window should open, in Q1 of next year. And then future phases, and by that I just mean future funding opportunities, include those that pre-existed any that you see named here on the screen, and include the California Advanced Services Fund. They may include the USDA Reconnect program, and others that are available from both the state and federal government. So very quickly, this is how the work under your LADA grant was broken down. It was broken into 3 work products. We have completed work product 1 and 2 and are now in the middle of the final phase of work that will be done under your LADA grant, and that is low-level network design. And as I mentioned, upon completion of the grant, San Benito County will receive construction-ready, low-level designs, complete with a list of all permits that are required to build the system within the project area for about 40 miles of network project area. The focus, as I mentioned, and I want to reiterate, the focus of work on low-level and Golden State Connect Authority FFA applications was how do we get to those unserved areas and build a network that is sustainable over time. And by that I mean one that does not require ongoing grant dollars or public funds of any kind to exist. And then switching away from the LADA grant for just a moment and looking at the FFA last mile, this is an overview of the timeline that we were up against. So as I mentioned, applications were submitted in the fall. Ahead of the deadline, the September 29th deadline that you see there, GSCA submitted 37 applications totaling requests of roughly $818 million. San Benito was in that mix. There was a little bit of a back and forth process called the objection and response period that you see noted there, where any body or any entity could object to any application that was filed, so that the objection goes into public record, and then there was an opportunity for a response, also allowing it to go into public record. That period closed on December 18th, and now, as I mentioned, it is in the hands of the CPUC program staff to review and rate and rank all the applications that were submitted. This will give you just a quick overview of, a visual of the areas that that GSCA submitted FFA and loan loss reserve applications for, and they are for the identical project areas. So as you can see there, our FFA and loan loss applications, we submitted 37 of them that included 30 county applications, again, San Benito being one of them, and 7 applications for cities within member counties. And you can see there in the gold or orange boxes there, the cities that were included in the application process. This is a little bit of background just on the loan loss reserve program. As I mentioned, it really was designed to serve as a credit enhancement or securitization of debt issuances by local governments, tribal entities, or nonprofits. Those were the eligible applicants for the program. The securitization can cover up to 100% of the principal amount that needs securitization. So in the case of Golden State Connect Authority, we did apply for 100% coverage of the principal costs of the bonds that would be issued for each of our 37 applications as part of the financial staff. And as such, we are looking for both an FFA award and a loan loss reserve award for each application before we can greenlight or advance that project for construction. And again, not to put too fine a point on it, but we're in the waiting period as program staff review both of these program applications that were received. And this is the last slide I had. It's just a little more detail on the loan loss reserve program. So you could apply under 3 tracks. The equity track received 50% of the loan loss program. That's the LLP loan loss program application. And in order to qualify as an equity track application, 75% of the project area had to be be included in a low income or disadvantaged community designated area. So of the 37 applications that Golden State Connect Authority submitted, 14 of them qualified as equity track applicants. And I should know, and I will look up as soon as I'm done here and let you know whether San Benito was one of those or not. You can see there the next chunk of loan loss reserve program dollars that are available are within the general track, which is 40% of the allocation. And then there was a tribal track. Tribal can go into any of those tracks, but there was a specific set aside for tribal applications of 10% of the loan loss reserve program dollars. So I will say, as I step out of the program and stop sharing my screen, that that last Wednesday, that CPUC did send out an announcement to their listserv that they had received just over $430 million in loan loss reserve applications for just over 35 project areas. And those are interesting numbers when those came out because we submitted $434 million worth of loan loss reserve program requests across 37 project areas. So we are definitely their largest, if not their only applicant in this first round of funding available under the loan loss reserve program. So with that, I will stop, and hopefully I'm back on the main screen and have turned the screen back over to all of you in the room.
Yeah, thank you very much. You are. Appreciate that. Supervisor Zanger, any questions, comments, public comment?
If you'd like to make a comment in chambers, please come up to the podium. On Zoom, please press *9 or the raised hand icon. And I have no public comment.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Unless I missed any timeline on when we could actually be using this and laying fiber at some point and doing something.
Yeah, I mean, if everything goes well, Supervisor, and we hear that we've been awarded for project areas, again, both the loan loss reserve and the FFA applications for the same project area, then we can greenlight or begin deployment of that infrastructure. So there'll be, between award, probably 60 days or so to get paperwork signed between CPUC and us, but we will begin with permit applications and issuance of RFPs for construction firms upon notification of award, before we solidify, so to speak. And we will begin marketing the bonds at that point as well. We will not issue the bonds until we have the paperwork done for the securitization of the loan loss reserve funds. So probably with both of those considerations, probably within 3 to 4 months of hearing that we have solidified both awards, we would be issuing the bonds on the street for private investment purchase. Once those bonds are purchased and we have money in hand, we will begin a deployment. So I think probably end of this year is, as I mentioned earlier, somewhat aspirational, but definitely early in 2025 for construction to begin.
All right, appreciate your presentation. Anything else? Nothing? We're good? All right, we'll move on then. We did public comment. Move on to 4.F, discuss opportunity for counties and cities promoted by California Emerging Technology in partnership with Regional Broadband Consortia, SCAG, and SANDAG to encourage use of local government best practices checklist, provide staff direction as desired.
Good afternoon, committee members. So this item is before you today regarding an opportunity, as mentioned, by being promoted by the California Emerging Technology Fund. And this is in partnership with the Regional Broadband Consortia, Southern California Association of Governments, and the San Diego Association of Governments. It's essentially to encourage the use of the local government best practices checklist, which was attached to the staff report. I'm not sure if either of you had an opportunity to look at it. With this, there is an opportunity to earn a grant of $1,000 and a grant of $20,000 to qualify for the $1,000 grant San Benito County must submit the official checklist for the county and attend one of the webinars that is being provided on Friday, April 26th or Friday, May 17th. The first 100 local governments submitting the checklist will receive the $100,000 grant. This is open for all local governments. That includes all 58 counties and I'm not sure how many cities there are, but all the cities within those jurisdictions as well. Then all those local governments that submit a checklist will be invited to submit a short one-page application for the $20,000 grant. A committee of the Regional Broadband Consortia will select the 25 local government awardees based on those that submit the appropriate paperwork. There is also attached a resource guide. The resource guide is a starting point for local and regional government leaders looking to advance access, deployment, and adoption of broadband through leadership roles. It includes an overview of selected broadband policies and ordinances across the state for potential replication or adaptation. It also includes case studies for broadband deployment and adoption, including for 5G investments, and a list of additional resources for national and state broadband agencies and organizations. With that, we kind of just wanted to provide this opportunity and see if this is something that your committee is willing to support. But essentially, it would be 2 grants that we would be going after if that is the will.
Great. Appreciate that, Supervisor Zanger.
I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I mean, do we public comment on it?
We will, yeah. Sorry, I'm all kind of back and forth, but yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah, I think we should
Yeah,
certainly pursue
seems
the grants.
obvious.
Yes. Basically, that's the comment. Yes.
All right, awesome. With
Um,
that, I'm not sure if there's any further comments, questions, but
Yeah, just public comment. Any public comment?
If you'd like to make a comment in chambers, please come up to the podium. On Zoom, please press *9 or the raised hand icon. And I have no public comment.
All right, we have enough on that. We're good. All right, 4.F done. Future agenda items.
Just the Rotary presentation, I guess.
Exactly, Rotary, and I don't have anything else. So I think that's it.
All right, motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.